Hey gang, so today's kind of a cool one. This is the Chenyu Warshield slider. It's kind of a tricky little guy, and it's got some character to it, which I like. It does a couple things, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get under the camera and have a look. Let's go. Okay, so here is the Chenyu Warshield. Now, this is I'm going to say this ahead of time, this is a borrowed Fidget, and I say that because the little rubber gasket that kind of keeps the pin in place is a little loose. When it came to me, it was on the wrong side, and I think it's just been stretched a little bit. So it may pop out, and we'll address that in a second. So having said all that, the Warshield is kind of a cool slider. You may have seen the Lefty EDC. Kevin reviewed it recently, and it's a fun slider. It's one of those track sliders with a post in it, so it can kind of move up and it can slide, and it's cool. It's got a neat feel to it. Again, the issue comes when that little rubber ring starts to wear down, and I think that that's just kind of an indication of what could happen with these, and maybe not. It's not just the specific one, but maybe it's just kind of something to watch out for if you own one, and if you play with it a lot and you spin it a lot with the post. I'd be curious to know if your kind of rubber gaskets have started loosening up at all. So, Sean, what the hell are you talking about? Rubber gaskets? What do you mean? Well, this has a pin inside, right? Let's see if I can open that up a little bit. Oh, the gasket just popped out again. So that's great. I'm going to show you why. So this pin here, okay, lives inside of this hole, and the pin is supposed to slide with the hole. The problem is, if we see this little collar, it's a little rubber gasket that goes over top of this on the other side. And I'll show you what I mean. So the way to get into this is these plates, right? When you first look at the Warshield, let me just get this back to where it's supposed to be. Come on. Perform for the camera. Okay. So there are no screws. And that's a very cool design feature. The way you do it is you can see these spacings. So you've got your inner plates, but then you have these shells on the outside, and the shells are just attached magnetically. So you just have to get your thumb in. Now, I find the middle is the easiest spot, and you just open it up. Now, here is that little rubber gasket that we were talking about. I just sort of have it loose here for now. Okay, little tiny ring. I'm just going to put it here. So these plates are just fixed on there magnetically. So there's a magnet here, a magnet there, and you can see little squares where it fits in, and it just snaps in. So that is kind of genius. I really love that part of it. Now you'll see here that we have our pin, and I'm going to take this other side off first, just so that it's easier to explain how this actually works. So let me get my thumb in there. Boom. So then that plate comes off. Now, we have this post that runs along the track, right? This is the whole slider mechanism. The problem is the post needs to be held in place by this little rubber ring that you put over top of it to kind of lock it in place. And once this ring loses its elasticity, it just kind of pops out. So I have, now feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but what I've tried to do is push this seal down around the post, and once it's there, it keeps the track in place, right? And it's doing its job. The issue is, in this case at least, I think the ring is kind of stretched a little bit. But I can't imagine that's an uncommon thing. And it happens most when you start spinning. You can actually see, as I'm spinning this around, you can kind of see the stress it puts on the post and the middle ring. Until eventually, if something happens and it's pulled too hard, it just pops right out and it pulls right out of the ring. Just like that. So then the post falls out and the ring is left inside. So that to me is kind of that's the flaw with this design, when you're kind of relying on a little rubber ring to sit inside a groove like this. But if the ring stretches at all, it doesn't do its job anymore. So that's the flaw with this. Now, without the ring, you know, it's just a free slider. And I mean, it's kind of a cool free slider. You can't really ladder with it because your magnets are towards the inside, but it's a good masher, right? Like you can just kind of mash it around, but it's not really built to be used this way. So again, things like the magnets being a little too close to the middle prevent you from doing the things you would normally want to do with a free slider, which is typically laddering. It cannot ladder. So I would say this is, I know Kevin said he loves it, and I think if this were new and in perfect shape and didn't have the issue with the stretched little gasket ring there, I think this would be great. However, the fact that it can happen usually means it will happen. So I'm not sure. I would say be careful when you have one of these because of that. And I would love to check in with some people who have had them for a while and see if they still enjoy them, or have they run into this problem as well. It may not occur at all. It may not be a problem unless one day you pull on the lid a little too tight and you separate it, and then that's what causes this rubber ring to stretch. So maybe just go gentle. Okay, and these are, again, the price I'll put up here. And you can usually get them at sort of the typical, GEEONE, Big White EDC, and the prices may vary a bit, but again, that's just sort of a rough, that's a rough cost. So at least you know what you're looking for, especially if you go secondhand. But again, I would watch out secondhand because of that ring. Okay, that's it. That is the Chenyu Warshield. I mean, man, it does look cool though, doesn't it? Like, what a neat design. Okay, thanks for watching, gang.